What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I am so excited for this episode, and I hope you all are as well, because today we're going to be transplanting some volunteers. That's right. I'm going to be moving some volunteers over to a bed right there because I don't like to see them die, and I love volunteers. And I don't think I've really touched a whole lot on volunteers and why I love them, because I do, if I'm given the chance to grow a volunteer, I will choose so over a packet of seeds or over a plant from a nursery any day. And so I want to talk about why, because I think it'll help a lot of you out kind of make that decision of whether or not to categorize them as an unnecessary or unwanted plant or a very beneficial plant, which is what I categorize them as. And so I just thought I'd explain why. So let's go. So this bed is where we grew our Swiss chard last year. It was a great bed for that, but we needed to rotate it in a crop that would kind of not fit in this chard family. So I wanted to put some potatoes here, and we applied this compost about a week ago. When we applied the compost, we didn't really think anything of it. And after about 2 days of beautiful, steady rain, we started to notice all these plants starting to come up. These plants here were from our compost pile we composted last year. This is guaranteed is a yellow zucchini, because it has those very indicative markings on the leaves for yellow zucchini. We grew yellow zucchini last year, and also we grew a lot of cucumbers. These cucumbers here are sprouting up at their own free will, and they just want to get growing. I've already transplanted quite a few of the cucumbers that were sprouting up throughout here. And there's also lots of tomatoes. There's a tomato there, as well as a big group of tomatoes right there. And I absolutely love volunteers. So here we have some cucumber volunteers. I want to get these transplanted over in our cucumber bed. So let's go do that now. I've already pulled up quite a few other ones. I think we're going to have enough to get our bed planted out. So what we want to do is we want to dig down very far and lift the whole soil clod up. Now, generally, if you can plant this entire soil clod, that's the best. However, what can happen is the soil, as you're transplanting it, can break apart and fall away, and that can damage roots. So what I like to do is manually remove them from the soil. I'll pull away a clod there, and so you can start to see some roots already. You start to see some roots, and they're undamaged because the soil is so loose and so fertile. And what I'll do is I'll just let the soil just kind of drop away from the plant, and I'll slowly work it down to where I have a manageable plant to hold on to. There we go. So now I have that, and there is my transplant. So it's a lot better, in my opinion, and this is just, from my personal experience, what I've done, it's a lot better than taking this whole plant and just plopping it in the soil, which you could do, but oftentimes that's what happens is as you're moving it, these things are breaking apart, and if this root fiber is growing in there, I don't want to damage these tiny seedling roots, because there's not many of them. And often when you damage the root system of a seedling, they don't really grow back, and they don't grow back the same way that they would have. So I like to get myself a complete seedling there, and that is what I'm going to transplant. Nothing else can come off from that, because the seedling roots are in amongst that soil there, and it's ready to transplant. But you can just see, look at the intricacy. Just look at the intricacy of that. I mean, that is absolutely stunning. I mean, absolutely incredible. All the root fibers there. It just grows out and searches out throughout the soil looking for nutrients and water, and you can just see what having a really loose soil can do. Having a really loose, nutrient-rich soil just allows the plant to just effortlessly move throughout the soil. So one thing we're going to do is just make sure that the soil is prepped nice and deep. We're going to sit the plant in, and then we're just going to backfill. And it's very important when transplanting bare root to press the soil down around the plant and remove those air gaps so the roots have good contact with soil. And it'll just be like nothing ever happened. The final thing that I wanted to touch on is why I love growing volunteers. So growing volunteers is something that I've always really liked to do for two reasons. My main reason is that when you grow a plant year after year, it becomes acclimated to your growing conditions. It becomes acclimated to your soil, to your rainfall, to your pH, pests, diseases. No matter what you have regionally, it's becoming acclimated to those things, meaning that it has a better chance of being more productive, more disease resistant, more drought tolerant. Everything that goes into a growing condition, it can become more hardy in those growing conditions. And so that means that you're going to have a better chance of success. The second thing that I love about growing volunteers is the uncertainty. Now this might seem as kind of crazy, and yeah, sure, it might be a little crazy, but I absolutely love not knowing what I'm going to get. I'm someone that I love celebrating biodiversity. I love celebrating the unknown with a cross. When you are born, you're a cross of two other people. And that cross is something totally unique to the rest of the world. And so when you cross, like for instance, we grew 5 varieties of cucumbers. There's almost 100% chance that at least one of these crossed with another variety. That means the Ashley cucumber might have crossed with an Armenian yard-long cucumber, or the Armenian yard-long cucumber might have crossed with a Muncher cucumber, or there could have been a cross of multiple. The cucumber or the Armenian yard-long cucumber might have crossed with an Ashley cucumber and a Boston pickling cucumber. You just never know what you're going to get with genetics. And that is what is so amazing, is we're kind of dipping our hand into the genetic cookie jar, and we're not sure what we're going to pull out. We know we're going to get a cookie, but we're not sure if that cookie is going to have chocolate chips, if it's going to have, I don't know, pecans or peanuts. I have no clue what you're going to get. When you reach that cookie or grab that cookie out of that cookie jar, you just never know. And so I think it's really fun for someone that does celebrate biodiversity, because that is the whole idea behind every heirloom we've ever grown, is they've been selected for a certain genetic. And every single day, we're discovering a new variety that is, more disease resistant or more productive, or maybe it has something that we've never seen before, and we want to select that trait and breed it with other crops to hopefully keep that trait going. You just never know. And so I love the uncertainty behind it. I enjoy it. And then when I save those seeds, I never know what I'm going to get the next year. And so if I can have access to volunteers from my compost pile, I will always grow them. I do typically start some seeds from seed that I know what I'm going to have, just so I do have some reliability. But I will always grow at least some volunteers if they do sprout, because I just love them. I absolutely love what they provide. And so hopefully I've kind of changed your mind about some of these things. I hope that I've persuaded you to try growing volunteers. I can safely say from my own experience that growing volunteers are often some of the most productive plants in my entire garden. And I love that it's free plants. You can't go wrong with free. So I love that. And I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you try growing some volunteers. And I also hope that that you'll share this video with your other friends that might be interested in gardening, because it helps our channel grow, it helps us reach new people, and it helps spread the word about what we're doing. So as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to like this video, subscribe if you're not yet already, and we'll catch you all later on the next episode. As always, grow big or go home. We'll see you later.